Hey Orchinistas! Welcome to the channel Forever Orchids. My name is Tracy. I've got another plant here, very large plant. This is my pink Empress, I believe is the name of it. Look at the tag here. Yeah. RLC Pink Empress Ju-Sen. And it does have an American Orchid Society Award of an AM. Now, what's happened to her? She's been growing in this terracotta pot for quite a while. Very large orchid. She has got battle scars, let me tell you. She has been sitting on a bottom shelf where during the middle of the night, the cats are coming around and chewing her leaves. One in particular is chewing its leaves. So she looks pretty bad. She's also had some scale damage that I am dealing with. But I noticed her leaning like this, and I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, here's what's going on. Looks terrible, doesn't it? Her roots are only this deep. They're not going any further. Now, what we've got down here is a lot of shredded sphagnum moss. And I am going to say at one point, I used to grow my orchids in, it does smell mildewy, so we're going to definitely get her out of here. But I used to grow my orchids in redwood chips, fir bark, shredded. And this is just, I'm actually able to just, look how rotted this is. How I can just easily, just so easily break this up. Okay, so her media is done. Now I could choose to put her back into this pot, but she's such a big plant. She was already starting to grow over the edge of the pot. So what we're going to do is put her into this 8-inch azalea pot, they call it. It's not as the same as a 6-inch height-wise, whereas an 8-inch would be taller, but this one is just wider. So this is going to give more room for these rhizomes. It's going to give her more room for new growth. Okay, at least about an inch or so. So I'm going to put her in this. What we've got so far, let me just set her over here. I'll probably be best to just take this ring clip off. I'm going to set her right there. Okay, what I've got so far in the bottom is lava rock, big pieces of lava rock. Okay, the reason why I'm trying to use some lava rock, I'm going to start putting more and more orchids outside for the summer. Then this is going to help hopefully weight the pot down. We got a couple more pieces here that we could throw in here, and hopefully this will help. Now what I need to do is get some better media, get rid of all of this that was just staying wet too much. This is just not this is not your orchiata bark. This is some things that I had left over from decades ago where I had I'm pretty sure it was redwood. But it's been a long time since she's been repotted. It's been several years. So because I'm able to break this down so easily, it's time to repot her. Does she have new roots growing? No. But I just kept finding an issue, and probably because the cats were doing it. They were coming up at night and rubbing up against the plant, and they were nibbling on it, and she's fallen over out of her pot. So she was just getting to the point where she's just getting top heavy. We're just going to take off the ring clip, and then I'll show you how to put that back on. See how it's kind of pretty top heavy. That's why that ring clip here was being used to keep these pseudobulbs upright. And let's see how much do we want to get any of this stuff out. Probably so. Get a bunch, as much of this rotted stuff out with my fingers here. See, she had started growing new roots here on this pseudobulb. This one hasn't started yet growing roots. See how the sheath is still green? So this pseudobulb here is still maturing. So it'll pop out some new growth. But I'm going to get her repotted. We'll get all the ones that we're working on right now repotted. And we are going to soak them in, you guessed it, sea kelp extract. New root tips here. Some of them kind of stopped growing. I still do see some new root tips, so that's good. But we're going to get some more growing here so that she can survive the winter, and then she'll be good to go come springtime. Trying to get my fingers up in here. Get some more of this stuff to fall out. We're going to replace all of that with new. Little spider web there. She went outside for one night. Set her outside and was cleaning the scale off. And let me take this out. These were the best things. Oh, guys, if I could find these. These were so good. I can make them, I'm sure. But they were sold years ago to put in your yards and put Christmas lights in your yard. Guess what? They were the best things for big Cattleyas and holding up their rhizomes. Holding up, not their rhizomes, but holding up their pseudobulbs. And until the pseudobulbs hardened off. So when the pseudobulbs start growing, they're really, really flexible, and you can train them. Well, that would have been a new root, a new growth, but I believe scale got to that. Woo. One of the better things to do, and I just don't have time right now. I could pressure wash the whole plant. Woo, yeah. First time I heard somebody tell me that they were going to pressure wash a plant, I was like, what? Excuse me? You're going to do what? Yeah. Bugs, repotting sometimes, just pressure wash the whole thing and get rid of the bugs. And she's looking pretty bad here. The more I'm doing all of this and getting a good look at these pseudobulbs, we've still got some scale on here. I've been wiping it off with alcohol until I can get some better insecticide. I've got some fungicide, but I don't really have a good insecticide. Just haven't gotten any yet. You know, guys, and I haven't needed it. I have not had bugs in my collection. But dumb me brought one plant in that had some issues. And they're spreading now. Alrighty. This is a mass of roots right here. I'm not able to really get my hands up in there. So that is the best we're going to do for her at the moment. Okay, we'll let her sit. I'll be back in a blink of an eye. I'm going to clean all of this mess up. I'm probably going to clean up her some more, rub down the pseudobulbs. Now that I've got her out of the pot, can get closer down on the rhizome with a Q-tip and get a lot of the scale cleaned off with the alcohol. I'm also going to get the bark mixture that I'm going to be putting her back in. I'm probably, I just got a ton of things I could use. Might also help to weight the pot down if I fill in around the lava rock with Stay Light. It's another inorganic product that you can plant your orchids in. Odom's Orchids down in Florida, they do that as well. They'll plant a lot of their orchids in Staylight. It's an inorganic, like I've already said, and you don't have to repot so often. Now, I'm not going to put her totally in Staylight, I don't think. I think I'll still probably do some charcoal perlite and orchiata mix is what I'm going to put her in. But I'm thinking if I put Staylight down in the bottom of this pot, let it fill in around this lava rock here, that's going to help weight the pot down. The pot's not so large that by doing that, it's going to make it difficult for me to water. You got to think about some of those things. If you're growing your plants indoors, how are you watering them? For me, I'm taking smaller ones and I'm putting them in a tray, a 12 quart, I think, little plastic Sterlite, I think is the brand name, whatever. It's just a little tray that I'm watering them or letting them soak. But if you start getting big pots, like my George King Serendipity Cattleya, go back and watch that video. That's the largest Cattleya I have in my grow space. The last time I did a video over a year ago, it had 40 pseudobulbs on this plant. I haven't counted this year how many it has, but it's in a 10-inch clay pot, and it desperately needs to go into a larger clay pot. Well, as soon as I do that, it's going to get heavy to move it to get watered, and it's going to make the plant difficult. And I'm on the fence about dividing it. That's another whole conversation. I'm rambling. In a blink of an eye, I will be right back. Okay, told you I'd be back in a blink of an eye. Well, in that blink, I cleaned off scale off of her. I'm still seeing some little bits. So let me show you what I've been doing. Just take a Q-tip and some alcohol and just run it over the scale that you can see. She's got quite a bit, so she's really going to need a better insecticide. I've sprayed her with neem oil, but I've just been a little leery about doing that. So we're going to keep working on her and getting her good to go, get all the scale off. But you just take a Q-tip and just run it over those places that you see that have the scale on them, and they wipe right off. You can also take a paper towel, a microfiber cloth if you want to. You might want to throw that away, and that's all you do as far as cleaning them off with alcohol. If you get just a couple, you got a whole bunch, yeah, you need to do something different. Because I could just sit here and keep finding what I think is a little bit of scale, keep rubbing it off. All right, but we need to get her potted up, okay? So what I've done is I've got some bark mixture here with charcoal, and I finally found the larger pieces of perlite. And I'm going to put a link down in the description I got it off of Amazon. I finally found it in the bigger chunks, because what my local nursery has is real tiny little stuff of the perlite, but I finally found the big ones. So go in the description, click on the link, and you can purchase some yourself. But I've mixed up orchiata bark. I've got the Power Plus. I've got some charcoal and some of the coarse perlite, and that's going to be my mixture. I went ahead and put some Staylight down in the bottom of my pot to fill in around the lava rock, just to weight it down a little bit more. And that helped a great deal. So let me find my new growth here. She's got to the point where she's large enough that she's coming from different directions. But I've got a new one here, and right here is a new one. And let me see, I did have another one, another eye that I was telling you. Yeah, this back bulb right here, it had started to push out a new growth, but scale got to it. So we're going to turn her around here, set her down. We'll set her where these back bulbs here that don't have any leaves on them, I'm going to set that towards the back of my pot so that I can have all about oh goodness, right here, this little section here is a good 2.5 inches that she'll have plenty of room to grow. So before I set her down in there, I'm going to put some bark mixture. In here. Now, getting it, what I'm doing is I am filling up the pot with the bark mixture so that when I put this portion of my roots, she's a big girl, so you're not going to see me for a little bit, I can set it down to where the majority of my rhizome is level with the top of my pot or slightly above. And I'll still be able to see how floppy this is. This is why we've got the ring stake. I'll still be able to put that in here and prop up and contain these right here. Let's see, make sure. I want to give this new growth here. As soon as those roots come out, they're going to be over the side of the pot. All right, make sure I got enough bark down here under her. And I can take my hands, push underneath that rhizomes, underneath all the rhizome. You know that part where you saw me earlier taking my hands and pulling out the center? Yeah, push some of that bark under there with your hands. Around to the side here. I've got another video that I haven't had time to edit yet, but it's going to be entitled When Two Hands Are Not Enough. She's big enough that she's almost to that point. I really thought I had enough bark mixture mixed up. A little shy. All right, so what I'm doing is packing it around to the sides, making sure I'm going under that root ball. See how she looks here. Now, flopping up right here. I don't know if she's got roots, got bark underneath that or not. Okay, a little bit more here. Now I chose not to put in this mixture, I didn't put any sphagnum moss this time. She was in an awful lot. I'm not sure if it was really needed. This go round. Okay. Well, let me see here. How's she looking? Alrighty. I've got some more space. I'm going to mix up a little bit more bark. I'm going to get a rhizome clip, and that might be the, I'm going to do that and the ring. That little ring, the big ring that we had. But I want to get her stable first. As soon as I let go, she's going to flop. Nope. It's not going to hold it. She's going to flop, people. Just as soon as I let go, this back end's going to plop right out, and all my hard work was for nothing. Okay, sometimes we have to start over. Don't mean for this to be a very long video, but just sometimes it's just the name of the game. She's top heavy. She doesn't have a lot of root system here. So I'm going to have to start over, and it's because I didn't have enough bark mixture mixed up to start with. So we're going to start over, get a little bit more, come back, and I will get her situated to where she will stand up by herself. And that way, I'm telling you, why we're going to do a video on sometimes you need more than two hands to repot these large Cattleyas. All right, let me go mix up some more. Round two. I need that little sign boxing match. I don't even watch boxing. It says round 2. Here we go. Round 2 of repotting a large Cattleya. Okay, let's try this again. Alrighty. In goes the pot, the plant. Put some bark mixture down first. This time, a big piece of lava rock there. Just go right there in the middle. All right, I am going to, had another idea that just went through my head. Sometimes when your pots get so large, here's a little tip that you can do. You could take, if I had it like a 4-inch pot, for example, a 3-inch pot, something that you could put down in the center, and then you set your orchid down on top of that, and what that does is that gets air coming up from the bottom of the bottom hole up into the pot, and that will help keep the center of your pot drier. If you are running into the problem where when you get such large pots, your center never dries. Now, I don't do that, and here's why. There's nothing wrong with that technique, but the majority of my plants growing indoors, they're going to sit flat down on a solid surface, and therefore they're not getting that air. So the majority of the time, I don't do that. It is definitely something that I can teach you guys how to do. George King would probably be, when I repot that one in the spring, that's going to be a really, really good one to do that with, because that 12-inch pot that it's going to need to go into. But that's a piece of lava rock made me think of that. Okay, so we're going to get this baby back down in here. Okay, same process. Just going to get that bark mixture around and under. I think that's part of my problem. Got a big hole over here that didn't have any bark under it that last time. And that was, it's still top heavy the way this thing is growing. Okay. And this will be where the ring will help. Darn wind. No, it's not really what happened to this one, but that's what started this whole process of me having to look at these orchids and repot some, because they were getting, this one was just too top heavy. Oop, there's a leaf I missed with some scale damage. But this is going to get probably a rhizome clip, and also the ring that I'm going to show you guys how to put in. Let me just fill in, get all my bark in here the way I want it. Okay. Alrighty, I think we look good. I'm just afraid to let go. I don't think she's in there very good. Where did I have another one here? Yeah, see, look, I'm tapping right here, and this is going pretty deep, so I don't have any bark kind of in that spot underneath. Okay, so leaning. just going around the sides here. Making sure I've got it packed under there. Okay, let's see if I can do this one-handed here. See if I can get this ring clip back around here. No, not when part of it falls apart. All right. Let's see what we got here to hold this down. And let's see here. Well, I'm trying to find a spot here. Maybe if I get this in here. All right, people. She's about to whoop me. Oh, that's just terrible, terrible language. I have nothing. All right. Okay, guys, I had to take her with me, keep my hand on the pot so that I could go get my large rhizome clips. So I'm keeping my fingers pushing down on this back side here. And just because she's leaning that way, she's wanting to tilt over. And I am going to get her clipped down. Right here looks good. Okay, what I'm looking at this clip now is I'm looking at where the metal is going to touch the rhizome, and then I'm going to come in and bend in that section. Maybe this video, instead of, the title it was going to be, maybe it should be how to one-handedly wrangle a large Cattleya to repot it. This is ridiculous. Okay. All right, now we're going to push. Ta-da! Woo! We are at least being able to let go. And I'm trying to get the rhizome clip the way it's supposed to attach. This little part is supposed to go under the lip here. I'm getting a lot of resistance here. Oh my goodness. Okay, now we're good. She's not going anywhere. Now I can contain all of the wispy pseudobulbs with the ring clip here. Okay, let's get to the ring clip. And we're going to put this third leg on. Okay. And I'm just going to come in around the bottom here. Bring it up as best I can. Get the sides going down in there. There's one. Two. I think my ring clip was leaning to begin with. Okay. Now, take this one out. We have, for the most part, contained this plant. It could stand to have probably a bigger ring clip. Oh, got some lava rock. Got some rocks there. Trying to get down into. But I've got this new growth coming into it. Bigger pot. She could use a bigger ring clip. But she's in there. She's not going anywhere. She's in a bigger pot. She's been weighted down. I've at least got room for this growth here. This one, not much hope on it, on that one, as far as the roots are concerned, because these roots are going to pop out and they're going to start going over the side of the pot. Yep. And I don't see where there's much I can do about that. I can try to pull her back a little bit towards this side. That kind of helped a little bit. I kind of shifted her somewhat. I think that helped. So now I don't have, oh, she's heavy, this pseudobulb sitting directly here, so maybe the roots will pop out and they'll go down in the media. I like it to do that. That's the way I like my roots if I'm going to put them in a pot. That's the way I like them, because what's going to happen, I'm going to touch the side of that pot, pick it up, and I'm going to break those root tips. It's just me. I just do that. All right. Okay, Miss Pink Empress, you are done. We're going to soak everybody that we've repotted today into some sea kelp extract. Shoo! That took entirely too long. That was a workout. Who knew? Who knew? You could love orchids and work out at the same time. Oh my goodness. There we go. New title. How to work out with your orchids. What do you think about what do you think about that title? All right, guys. Until next time, I'm just going to keep cleaning scale off of this poor baby here. And then, I don't know. I haven't bought any. I have access. Somebody mentioned they could bring me some safari. I might text them, get them to bring me some of that at the next meeting. The other thing is, I think there's is it Bayer, Bayer, has a product. Was it a 3-in-1? I think I'm going to soak this, and for now, I'm going to spray it down with some neem oil. I'm just checking out, because I know there's still scale on here that I can't get all of it off at the moment. So it needs some help. I can see some right down in here. Guys, that's why it's so hard to get to all the scale, because they'll get down into your older pseudobulbs. The ones that are on the pseudobulbs, the outside, and the ones that are on the leaves, you can see those. But the ones that get down in here in the crevices around where this plant has already bloomed, oh, goodness gracious. I am babbling. She's done. We've got Elaine Taylor. Still a little wobbly here. And remember, my pot, when it fell, is cracked. So I'm probably going to take some time, find a pot to repot her. Chisis is done. And that was a workout. All 3 of these plants. It's about time to move them all inside. I don't like having to deal with this when you leave them outside and you hope they're okay and you keep an eye on them. You feel like you've got them, in a good area, and then you get some high winds, knocks them. And then all that hard work that you did repotting and the plants growing new roots and getting established, all for nothing. All for nothing. Okay. Until next time, guys, happy orchid growing. Bye.